Before we begin today, wishing you all a Merry Christmas. Hopefully you're spending it with someone or family or whatever, and not watching this video because, that's more important than learning how to cook. Anyway, what I'm making tonight is going to be for our family Christmas gathering. Going to be doing a brownie peanut butter like pie, cheesecake sort of thing. Lots and lots of ingredients, as you can see. I have the ingredient list in the video description because that's actually easy for me. To be honest, I got this recipe off of Today's Show website, so it's probably also available there if you don't want to get it my way or want to see an easier way of doing it. First step is going to be making the brownie crust. Most of these things are going to be in it. Don't really know what stays for a start here. It'll be the chips, flour, sugar, and most of these ingredients, whipped cream, cream cheese, peanut butter, and Reese's cups are going to be for the filling. Got plenty of bowls because you're going to need plenty of bowls with all the stuff we're making, and that's where we're going there. First step after cleaning the counter, getting all of the ingredients together, finding your whipped cream. Using pre-whipped, I'm not going to make my own whipped cream. That's too much work. Finding this at the bottom of the freezer, almost literally the bottom of the freezer. But first step after that, we're preheating the oven at 350, and over here I've getting going a double boiler. You just have a pot with water in it, a pot that can fit inside of it, and a bit of a snug fit, not necessarily touching the water, so that the steam is heating up the pot. And this is what we're going to be melting the chocolate and butter in. It's honestly a lot more efficient than doing it in like a microwave. It actually gives you a bit better flavor because everything's melting a bit more evenly. I mean, doing it in the microwave is fine, but it also leaves a bit more of a mess when you do it that way, from my experience. And instead of a regular like baker's chocolate, we're just going to be using like the chocolate chips because those melt a lot faster, so it's a lot better that way. I remember reading the original description of the recipe and saying melting the butter and the chocolate together and it will take like 30 minutes in the microwave. That's a long time. And you're going to have to be doing it at medium power too, because you'll cause a bit of a mess and breakdowns if you're not doing it otherwise. But chips work great. There's also, you can get these little wafers about this big that's also semi-sweet chocolate. Either way works really well. And that's really good for when you're working with baking chocolate. And I also have out our scale so that in case I need to weigh something, most of these measurements are in easy to understand forms, so like cups and teaspoons and all that. How relatively easy that is, but scale's a scale just in case. Other than that, just going to be waiting for the double boiler to get going, and then should pick up from there. Also going to get some of the dry ingredients started mixing and measuring, because that's usually a good idea to get multiple things going at the same time, just in case. Okay, we have our water boiling, so going to add our chocolate chips and butter to start melting. And just stir it constantly with a spatula like this. See, it's melting pretty quickly already. It'll form a nice little paste once everything's good and ready. Just a good constant stir with spatula, and once that's done, move on to the next stuff where I have everything measured out already. Alright, our chocolate butter mix is steaming hot and completely melted. I'm going to be putting it in a bowl, mixing in the sugar, eggs, and vanilla, and then once that's as homogeneous as you can make it, add the flour to make that equally homogeneous. And instead of Oreos, we're using a pie crust. Same basic thing, probably cheaper to buy if you're making this at home. So that's a really good thing. And although having a bag of Oreos to celebrate with while you're waiting for this to cook, it's not all bad. Once all of the chocolate, eggs, sugar, that's homogeneous. This we're keeping mostly as a chunk, but I'm putting it all in there. Once we have that done, I'm putting that all in a greased pan. Basically, let's see, what do we have right here? Basically a dish like this, and going to let that cook for about 25 minutes, and then while we're doing that, we're going to make the rest of the filling. And here's the setup for the filling or topping or whatever this is supposed to be. We have 1 cup of peanut butter, although if you make them like I do, 1 sandwich worth of peanut butter. Yes, I really love my peanut butter on my sandwiches. 8 ounces of cream cheese, soft, and this has just been sitting on the counter, so that's plenty soft for this mixture. A cup and a half of powdered sugar, which I'm sort of surprised that this is called for it, but almost never see powdered sugar being used. I have to use this whole thing of whipped cream, just recycling the same spatula, and chocolates to taste. Ew, some of them falling apart already. Yeah, that's not good. But yeah, going to be start by quartering the chocolates for later. Begin by mixing the sour cream and peanut butter together. Once that's as homogeneous as you can get it, work in the powdered sugar just like you did the flour in the last part of the recipe. Once they're together, fold in the whipped cream. Folding in, imagine you have your mixture in here. You're just folding it over, pulling it over, not really doing a vigorous mixing action like you normally would do. And once those are together, you fold in some of the chocolates and put that on top of the pie that we got going already. The brownie, actually, not really a pie. And after all of that's mixed together, you put it in the fridge and let it cool for at least an hour, it recommends, but you can obviously do more since it's the middle of the night and I'm making this for family tomorrow. So, let's see you once we get towards the finished product. Here is our brownie crust. It's pretty soft, and you can see the chocolate bits sticking up a bit. Around the edges a bit burnt, but yeah, that's the curse of using a see-through glass bowl like that. Here's our topping. looks very nice. It's very super creamy, and the chocolate part, the Reese's cups, look really good in it. Tasted a little bit of it, and it's really good. All that's left is to combine them. And here's the final product. It looks really nice. Got a good layer of topping on the brownie. Everything looks like it's turned out really well. Hopefully the family will enjoy it. I'm pretty sure they will. Just gonna let that finish cooling and melting together while I clean up. But that was a pretty simple recipe. Hope you give it a shot at your own. And remember, have good, very fun holidays. And if you're watching this after Christmas, have a good Kwanzaa too.